So tonight we're going to talk about the 7 granddaddy laws of training. The first principle is the principle of individual differences. To quote David Thomas, a PhD, he says, "We all have similar responses and adaptations to stimulus of exercise, but the rate and magnitude of these changes will be limited by our differing genetics. Some are fast responders, some are not. Some have the ability to reach elite, some do not." So, quite simply put, not everybody, no matter what they do, no matter what they take, can reach a pro status as like a bodybuilder. Not everyone to Ronnie Coleman, not everybody can be Steve Cook, not everybody can be Dana Lynn Bailey. That's really the roll of the dice according to the gene pool. Okay, they call it the genetic lottery. There's a term I heard many times called the genetic lottery. And I read a number like 1 in 10,000 are actually born to reach that level. Now that's not to say that you can't have an outstanding body like the 1%ers. We're just talking about as far as like aesthetically to the level at like where they're at. They're the genetic lotteries. They're the genetic outliers. Second one is the overcompensation principle. The overcompensation principle is your body is adapting to training. Like for example, calluses built on your hands from repeated weightlifting, that is a defense mechanism. The third law is overload principle. Your body is a well-oiled machine. It adapts to stress very easily. In order to continue to progress, you have to continually stress it and break the muscle fibers down so it can grow through the process of muscle hypertrophy. The problem with that is, as you get stronger and stronger, the force you needed to require continued adaptation, continued muscle building gets more difficult, right? So your body goes through something like an overtraining where you come to a plateau. When you come to the plateau, you're forced to add a new route. So if you come to a plateau of just flat bench, and that's when you need to start doing the same level of stress at your muscles, but only on like incline press. Next principle is the SAID principle. It stands for specific adaptation to imposed demands. Now, a lot of people were like wondering why during my transformation, I didn't do like high intensity interval training. Well, my specific goals were to build and maintain as much muscle as possible while trimming fat. Okay, now the body cannot, one hinders the other. Like high cardiovascular energy, demands hinder strength gains in muscle. That is a part of the principle that specific adaptation imposed demands. You have to be specific with what you're trying to do, and that is why I went that route, and that's why bodybuilders do the slow pace cardio. Now, with that being said, there's nothing wrong with HIIT training. I think it is great. I think it's an awesome way to stay healthy, but you have to be specific to what you're trying to achieve. Okay, the fifth law, the use-disuse law. Basically what that boils down is if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, your body will always revert back to what it's genetically comfortable as. Like I said earlier, the muscle is just a defense mechanism. If you're actively lifting weights, you will actively keep the muscle, because that is what your current demands are on your body. Unfortunately, it takes a lot less time for you to shrink than it does for you to grow. Okay, the detraining effect is basically where you start to atrophy. Now, changes in your neuromuscular system remain. For example, when I say neuromuscular system, that means your body remembers what it was, muscle memory. Number 6 law, the specificity principle. Basically, now, I just got done reading that, and it's like 4 paragraphs long. Now, honestly, I gotta research it more. But basically what it says is that you will gain more strength from squats than you will leg press. You will have better chances at winning a marathon by doing other marathons than you would sprints. And the final law is the GAS principle, general adaptation system, which means there must be a period of low intensity training to complete rest following a high intensity training workout. Now, what that means is if you're curling, 135 pounds, you will go to failure and you will have to rest or go to lower intensity or lower weights so your body can adapt, okay, to the added levels of response. So there has to be some period of rest time before working that same target muscle area again. 3 phases to the general adaptation system. There's the alarm stage, there's the resistance stage, and there's the exhaustion stage. You have to have an image of what you want to look like. Okay, if you're doing it for like the physical looks, then you have to pick somebody, you know, that looks how you want to look, and then you have to research the training, the specific training it's going to take and the specific nutrition it'll take to reach that level, that person's level of, you know, physique. Or if it's for a sport, like if you want to be a better lineman and you want a good program, bigger, faster, stronger. That's what we did in high school, you know, for football. Like, we have to find our goals. Like, for an example, like in the transformation challenge, my goal was to, you know, maintain as much muscle as possible while trimming body fat. So I went like the route I did with the slow-paced cardio, moderate slow-paced cardio, the low carbohydrates, high protein. And those are my reasoning before it. Now, it doesn't mean that I believe that one program is any better than the other. I believe that, you know, choice of training fit my goal the best. And I believe that that's what it boils down to, is finding what you want to look like, what you want to achieve, you're training for a sport, and finding the best training routine for you. All right. So that's my class, and now it's going to show if you want to watch me do deadlifts. I have a pretty good workout. Me and my brother work out at ASPEN Fitness, and this is video number 6, making shit happen.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
So as fitness enthusiasts, it's important that we feed the machine, right? Okay? And we also got to make sure our kids feed the machine. And again, is that good stuff? Want to try some broccoli?